वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरयेत् शृण्वतः स कथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तन हृदन्तस्थो हि अभद्राणि विधुनोति श्रीसुतां नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भगवत सेवया भगवतोत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणम् Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 29, verse 30 to 32, 30 to 31. Shut parito yatha dina sarameyo griham griham charana vindanti yaddistam dandam odanam evava tatha kamasayo jiva uchchavacha patha brahman uparyadho va madhye va yati distam priya priyam. Synonyms: Shut paritaha, overcome by hunger, yatha, as, dinaha, poor, sharameyaha, a dog, griham, from one house, griham, to another house. Charan, wandering, vindati, receives, yat, whose, distam, according to destiny, dandam, punishment, odanam, food, eva, certainly, va, or, tatha, similarly, kama, ashayaha, pursuing different types of desires, jivaha, the living entity, ucha, high, avacha, low, patha, on a path, brahman, wandering, upari, high, adha, low, va, or, madhya, in the middle, va, or, yati, goes toward, distam, according to destiny, priya, pleasing, apriyam, not pleasing. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The living entity is exactly like a dog who, overcome with hunger, goes from door to door for some food. According to his destiny, he sometimes receives punishment and is driven out at other times, receives a little food to eat. Similarly, the living entity, being influenced by so many desires, wanders in different species of life according to destiny. Sometimes he is high and sometimes he is low. Sometimes he goes to the heavenly planets, sometimes to hell, sometimes to the middle planets, and so on. Purport: the living entity's position is herein likened to a dog's. By chance, a dog may have a very rich owner, and by chance, he may become a street dog. As the dog of a rich man, he will live very opulently. Sometimes in Western countries, we hear of a master leaving millions of dollars to a dog in his will. Of course, there are many dogs loitering in the street without food. Therefore, to liken the conditional existence of the living entity to that of a dog is very appropriate. An intelligent human being, however, can understand that if he has to live the life of a dog, he had best become Krishna's dog. In the material world, a dog is sometimes elevated and is sometimes on the street. But in the spiritual world, Krishna's dog is perpetually, eternally happy. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura has therefore sung Vaishnava Thakura Tomar Kukura Baliya Janaha More. In this way, Bhaktivinoda Thakura offers to become a Vaishnava's dog. A dog always keeps himself at his master's door and does not allow any person unfavorable to the master to enter. Similarly, one should engage in the service of a Vaishnava and try to please him in every respect. Unless one does so, it does not make spiritual advancement. Apart from spiritual advancement in the material world, if one does not develop his qualities in goodness, he cannot be promoted to the higher planetary system. As confirmed by Bhagavad Gita 14.18, ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्था मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसा जगन्यगुणवृत्तिस्था अधो गच्छन्ति तामसः. Those situated in the mode of goodness gradually go upward to the higher planets. Those in the mode of passion live on the earthly planets, and those in the mode of ignorance go down to the hellish worlds. There are many varieties of life in the different planetary systems, and these come about due to the living entities developing his qualities in goodness, passion, and ignorance. If one is in goodness, he is promoted to the higher systems. If in passion, he remains in the middle systems. And if in ignorance, he is pushed down to the lower species of life. Verse 32. दुःखेश एकतरेणापि दैवभूतात्महेतुषु जीवस्य न व्यवच्छेदः साचेत् तत्तत् प्रतिक्रिया. Synonyms: दुःखेषु, in the matter of distresses, ekatarena, from one kind, api, even, daiva, providence, bhuta, other living entities, atma, the body and mind, hetusu, on account of, jivasya, of the living entity, na, never, vyavachhedaha, stopping, shat, is possible, chet, although, tat, of those miseries, pratikriya, counteraction. Translation and purport by Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The living entities are trying to counteract different miserable conditions pertaining to providence. Other living entities are the body and mind. Still, they must remain conditioned by the laws of nature despite all attempts to counter these laws. Purport: just as a dog wanders here and there for a piece of bread or punishment, the living entity perpetually wanders about trying to be happy and planning in so many ways to counteract material misery. This is called the struggle for existence. We can actually see in our daily lives how we are forced to make plans to drive away miserable condition. To get rid of one miserable condition, we have to put ourselves in another kind of miserable condition. A poor man suffers for want of money, but if he wants to become rich, he has to struggle in so many ways. Actually, that is not a valid counteracting process but a snare of the illusory energy. If one does not endeavor to counteract his situation, but is satisfied with his position, knowing that he has obtained his position through past activities, he can instead engage his energy to develop Krishna consciousness. This is recommended in all Vedic literature. तसैव हेतो प्रयतेत कोविद न लभ्यते यद् ब्रह्मतामपर्यधः तल्लभ्यते दुःखवाद् अन्यतः सुखं कालेन सर्वत्र गविरारामहसा. Persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for the purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet Brahmaloka down to the lowest planet Patala. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 5, Text 18. One should simply try to develop his Krishna consciousness and not waste his time trying to improve his material condition. Actually, the material condition cannot be improved. The process of improvement means accepting another miserable condition. However, if we endeavor to improve our Krishna consciousness, the distresses of material life will disappear without extraneous endeavor. Krishna therefore promises Kaunteya pratijanihi name bhakta pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. Bhagavad Gita 9.31. One who takes to the path of devotional service will never be vanquished, despite all miseries of the body and mind, and despite all misery brought about by other living entities and providence, miseries which are beyond our control. End of purport. नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I'm seeking blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas, and thank you for giving me this opportunity to read Srimad Bhagavatam today morning to purify myself. So I'll summarize on these 3 verses. I have collected points from Srila Prabhupada lecture and his purport on specific verses from Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. So this chapter 29 is the talks between Narada Muni and King Prachinavarhi. These verses 30, 31, 32, the main points what I understood is living being condition is like a dog. So better we should be Krishna's dog, not Maya's dog. And we should not waste our time to improve material condition. We should not try to fix problems, because if one problem is fixed, another will come. We have to accept our current state and condition, thinking it's due to my past karmas. Rather, we should use our time in cultivating Krishna consciousness. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has, in his Saranagati, he has sung, Kitta janma ho tatha tuadasa, bahirmukha brahma janme nahiyasa. May I be born again, even as a worm, so long as I may remain your devotee. I have no desire to be born as Brahma, averse to you. Tuadasa means your servant. Actually, we are all servant of Krishna. Jivar Swarupa Krishna Nityadas. We are the eternal servant of Krishna. But forgetting our position, we are acting as dasa of Maya. Hoya Mayara Dasa Kari Nana Vilasha. Living beings should have only one desire, how to serve Krishna. That is Anukullena Krishnanu Siranam Bhaktiruttama. Krishna is a person. Whatever he says, if we follow, will immediately revive our original position. Krishna says, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Saranam Raja. Means if we'll do that, immediately our original position will be revived. We are making so many plans to become happy, but if we'll accept just this one plan, immediately surrender to Krishna, then our life will be successful. अनादि बहिर्मुख जीव कृष्ण भूलि गेला अतएव मातारे गलाय बंधिला. So that means we are not independent. If you don't agree to serve Krishna, then we have to serve Maya. Our position is servant. Either we'll serve Krishna or Maya, and we'll get birth in material world again and again. So among the 8,400,000 type of species, Mayara Das means we have to change the body either higher class or lower class, depending upon our karma. That's what it's mentioned that karmana daivanetrena in Srimad Bhagavatam 3.31.1. Karmana daivanetrena jantur deho papattaye means that means we are completely under the control of material nature. We get different kinds of bodies in association with different modes of material nature. Karanam guna sangasya sadasadyoni janmashu. We may be sad or asad, may be human life or dog, hog life. If human life also be utilized only for eating, sleeping, mating, defending, then it's no better than dog or hog life. No difference. Human beings are thinking we are eating nice food. Hog is eating stool, means we are better. But Shastra says eating and taste of eating are the same. Human beings are enjoying their food. A hog is also enjoying the stool as its food. The taste of eating is same. Common formula is eating. Human life is meant for austerities that's not possible for hogs or dogs' life. By austerity, we can purify our existence. Now, our existence is polluted. Pure existence means eternal life, blissful and full of knowledge. We should stop continuation of this birth, death, old age, and disease and live eternally. People don't take this seriously. They can't believe or consider there could be freedom from this suffering. The Krishna consciousness is to save the people from dog or hog civilization to human civilization. Human life means plain living and advancing in spiritual knowledge, not to increase unnecessarily artificial means of life. That's what is mentioned in the purport of verse 32. If one does not endeavor to counteract his situation, but is satisfied with his position, knowing that he has obtained his position through past activities, he can instead engage his energy to develop Krishna consciousness. This is recommended in all Vedic literature. And the verse further says, as far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained automatically in course of time. Just as in course of time we obtain miseries even though we do not desire them. So whatever is there in our life, like as per our past karmas, if we have to get happiness, we have to get. And if we have to get miseries, we will get that definitely. We cannot do that. So that's why Srila Prabhupada is saying that don't make unnecessary endeavor to get happiness or miseries. Whatever will come, it will come. We think someone is well situated than us. Actually, they are like sometimes we think, right? Okay, that person may be very well situated, must be very happy. Actually, they are not well situated. If we want to cultivate Krishna consciousness in any material condition, we can do that. Any material condition cannot check our advancement in Krishna consciousness. That's what is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Verse 6. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radhuksaje ahetuki apratihata yatma supari saditi. That means it's two important words, ahetuki and apratihata. The supreme occupation or dharma for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. Ahetuki apratihata. Unmotivated and uninterrupted. Each and every living being has his eternal form in the spiritual existence, and Krishna is the eternal attraction for all of them. Krishna is the complete whole, and everything else is his part and parcel. The relation is one of the servant and the served. It is transcendental and is completely distinct from our experience in material existence. This relation of servant and the served is the most congenial form of intimacy. One can realize it as devotional service progresses. Everyone should engage himself in that transcendental loving service of the Lord, even in the present conditional state of material existence. That will gradually give one the clue to actual life and please him to complete satisfaction. A very important point is devotional service to the Lord must be pure in quality, that is, without the least desire for material enjoyment. One should therefore accept the superior quality of occupation in the form of the devotional service of the Lord without any tinge of unnecessary desire, fruitive action, and philosophical speculation. This alone can lead one to perpetual solace in his service. And the beauty of Krishna consciousness is what the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, text 32. मां हि पार्थ विपश्चित्य एयपीष्य पापयोन्यः स्त्रियो वैश्यस्तथा शूद्रास् te api yanti param gatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, and Shudras, can attain the supreme destination. So it's not like you have to get certain kind of body to get Krishna. Everyone, like Omen, Vaishya, Shudras, anyone can attain the supreme destination. That's the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, like Aham, Mameva, means he's a person, like these Sanskrit words, Aham, Mameva, means there must be a like first person, so he's a person. Then why we think him imperson? Even to Gyanis, it takes millions of lifetime to understand him. Bahunam Janmanamante. Real intelligent persons should immediately accept what he says in Bhagavad Gita. We have to accept Krishna's words as it is without doubt. We can understand Krishna when we'll be free from sinful activities. So in verse 32, Srila Prabhupada describes that one should simply try to develop his Krishna consciousness and not waste his time trying to improve his material condition. Actually, the material condition cannot be improved. The process of improvement means accepting another miserable condition. However, if we endeavor to improve our Krishna consciousness, the distresses of material life will disappear without extraneous endeavor, because Bhagavad Gita Chapter 9, verse 31, Krishna says, one who takes to the path of devotional service will never be vanquished. Despite all miseries of the body and mind, and despite all misery brought about by other living entities and providence, miseries which are beyond our control. With that, I would like to stop here. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity today morning. वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः.